Okay, guys, last video for Unit 6, we're going to be talking about drugs and consciousness. This is an old advertisement showing some cigarettes. Some drugs slow down the nervous system while others spurt into rapid action. Some drugs like alcohol and nicotine are believed to be connected with serious diseases. Many drugs are addictive. An addiction to a drug means that after a person takes it for a while, his or her body craves it just to feel normal. Alcohol, nicotine, and many other drugs are considered addictive. Drugs have a number of effects on consciousness. They distort people's perceptions, change moods, cause them to see or hear things that aren't real. And there are categories of drugs, and these include depressants, stimulants, and hallucinogens. Depressants are drugs that slow down the activity of the nervous system, and they generally give people a sense of relaxation but can have many negative side effects. And these include alcohol and narcotics. Alcohol is the most widely used drug in the United States, and it's a depressant. It causes intoxication, which is another word for drunkenness, and intoxication slurs people's speech, it blurs their vision, it makes them clumsy, it makes it difficult to concentrate. They may bump into things or be unable to write, and it also affects their judgment. Sometimes they might try to do things that require a clear mind and good coordination, like drive a car, and they're truly incapable of doing these things correctly. Alcohol is involved in more than half of all fatal accidents in the U.S., and regular consumption of alcohol can lead to addiction. Narcotics are addictive depressants that have been used to relieve pain and induce sleep. Examples of these are morphine, heroin, codeine. Morphine is a narcotic that was introduced during the Civil War. Heroin was introduced into the West during the 1800s. It was named heroin because it made people feel heroic. It's now illegal, and it's a powerful narcotic that can give the user feelings of pleasure. However, coming off heroin can plunge the user into a deep depression. It can also lead to death indirectly because it's often taken intravenously, like with a needle. And sometimes these needles are shared, and heroin addicts often put themselves at a great risk for AIDS and HIV. People who are addicted to narcotics experience withdrawal symptoms when they try to stop using them, and these are like tremors, cramps, chills, rapid heartbeat, insomnia, vomiting, and diarrhea. Stimulants increase the activity of the nervous system. They speed up the heart and breathing rate, and they include nicotine, amphetamines, and cocaine. Nicotine is the drug found in tobacco leaves, and it's one of the most common stimulants. Usually it's smoked, but it can also be chewed. It spurs the release of adrenaline, and it causes the heart rate to increase. As a stimulant, nicotine can make people feel more alert and attentive, but it's also shown that it doesn't improve the ability to perform complex tasks. It reduces the appetite and raises the rate at which the body changes to food and energy. And for these reasons, some smokers don't try to quit for fear that they'll gain weight. People can become addicted to nicotine, and evidence suggests that cigarette smoking is just as addictive as heroin use. People who stop smoking can experience symptoms like nervousness, drowsiness, loss of energy, headaches, lightheadedness, insomnia, dizziness, cramps, heart palpitations, tremors, sweating. And smoking has been associated with serious health risk. Amphetamines are another kind of stimulant. They are especially known for helping people stay awake and for reducing appetite. They're made from the chemical, I'm not going to even try to say that, alpha metal beta phenyl ethylamine, which is a colorless liquid made up of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. They were used by soldiers in World War II to help them remain awake and alert. Sometimes they're called speed or uppers. They can cause hallucinations, which is a perception of an object or a sound that seems real but isn't. It can also cause people to have delusions, which is a false idea that seems real, like if you thought you could fly. And an extremely addictive amphetamine is methamphetamine, or meth. Cocaine is also a stimulant derived from the leaves of a cocoa plant. It produces feelings of pleasure, reduces hunger, deads pain, and boosts self-confidence. And because cocaine raises blood pressure and decreases the supply of oxygen to the heart, it can sometimes lead to death. A hallucinogen is a drug that produces hallucinations, and marijuana is the most commonly used hallucinogen, and it's produced from the leaves of the cannabis sativa plant, which is a wild-growing plant. That's why it's called weed, because it's a weed. It can produce feelings of relaxation and mild hallucinations. Hashish or hash comes from the sticky part of the plant, and it's a little bit stronger than marijuana. It impairs perception and coordination. It makes it difficult to operate machines, including cars. It impairs memory and learning, and in addition, it can cause anxiety and confusion. It increases the heart rate and raises blood pressure. And it carries a number of health risks, and so now it's illegal. People who are intoxicated with marijuana may think time is passing more slowly than usual. Some people experience increased consciousness of body sensations like heartbeat, and visual hallucinations are fairly common. Strong intoxication gives some marijuana users frightening experiences. They can become confused and lose their sense of self. And LSD can produce very strong hallucinations. Sometimes it's simply called acid. It's much stronger than marijuana. These hallucinations can be really bizarre. Some people are convinced that they've achieved great insights while using LSD, but then when the effects wear off, they're unable to recall or use these discoveries or whatever. And LSD's effects are not predictable. And sometimes the experiences are so frightening that the users, in a state of panic and confusion, injure themselves or even commit suicide. And sometimes they have lasting side effects. Oh, I'm sorry. Other hallucinogens would be mushrooms or shrooms, peyote, or ecstasy. Treatments vary depending on the drugs. Detoxification is a removal of the harmful substance from the body, and this is a way of weaning addicts from the drug. You need to be under medical supervision when this is going on, because this can cause physical sickness, and it can kill you if you quit doing a very strong drug very quickly, like cold turkey. The most commonly used drugs are alcohol and narcotics, and so detox is very important. Treatment programs include maintenance programs, and this is when sometimes they're used for people addicted to narcotics, and people use these programs. They're given controlled and less dangerous amounts of the drug. This is pretty controversial. Counseling, of course, that speaks for itself. And then you have support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous. And that's it. Thanks, guys.